Welcome back to MVM. Today we're going to be taking a look at Vault Wars Relic Roadshow from Floodgate Games. Relic Roadshow is the expansion to the game Vault Wars, which came out a few years ago and is kind of a fantasy play on the concept of storage wars, in which you are playing a hero or set of heroes who are bidding on vaults left behind by adventurers who didn't make it back from the dungeon, if you get my drift. In this game, you're going to be playing vault cards, and each player is going to bid on them based on the items that they are seeing in the vault. Relic Roadshow keeps this same premise, but has a few different changes. For one thing, you're no longer bidding on the vaults of fallen heroes, you're now bidding on the vaults of defeated villains. So whatever they left behind is now up for grabs. In addition, in the normal game, you're going to get 2 hero cards, and you're going to try to fulfill the in-game requirements of one of them in order to score the most amount of points. Each one of these heroes is going to be a little different, and by the end of the game, you should know which one of these is going to score you the most points. Well, in Relic Roadshow, you're still going to have 2 characters in front of you, but one of them is going to be a villain. So you need to decide if you want to fulfill the villain's in-game condition or the hero's in-game condition. The hero wants you to collect items just like normal Vault Wars. You're going to have a deck of item cards here, and these represent a whole variety of different items that I'll talk about, and you're going to be able to collect these. Now these items are going to be up for bid, and if you win them, you're going to have the option to either equip them onto your character, which is going to give them some kind of ability for the rest of the game, or you can put them in your storage, which if you do that, you're going to have to pay a storage fee to keep these items, but they will score victory points at the end of the game. So traditionally, the items that you earn during the game only score points if they're in your storage. Villains want something different. They want this new deck of relic cards, and these are powerful types of ancient artifacts that can be transmuted to score points, and this is a new concept too. These cards actually score if they are equipped. So this is a reverse of the normal items. You do not want these items in your storage at the end of the game. You actually want them in front of you. Now, the turn-to-turn gameplay is still basically the same as it was in Vault Wars. Each player is going to start with a hero and a villain in front of them. They're also going to be dealt a new type of card, which is called a vice card. Each of these vices is based on one of the 7 sins. And this is going to take the place of the loan shark that you saw in the original game. Whenever you use one of your vice cards, you're going to be able to flip it to its backside to show it's already been used, and you can only use one of these abilities around. And it's going to cause you to draw some amount of corruption tokens. These corruption tokens are going to be worth negative points at the end of the game, and each one of these vice cards, of course, is asymmetric, so you're going to gain that corruption and use one of the abilities on your vice card, and they're all different, and they even give you different powers based on whether you're the auctioneer or the bidder. In addition, you're still going to start with a certain number of vault cards based on the number of players. Now these vaults are going to be different because these represent the vaults from Relic Roadshow. These are the villains' vaults, and these work a little bit differently. In the original game, every vault had a few things, and you're still going to see those. There's a number of items that you will draw to add to the vault. There's a number of items that you will show every player so they can kind of get an idea of what's in the vault. And there are a number of items left that other players can peek at to maybe get an idea of what the combined value of that vault is going to be. In this version of the game, you still have all that, but the vaults don't have special abilities. Every vault had a different ability that would trigger some kind of different condition. Instead, each card is going to have a printed value of relics. Now, first of all, you're still going to draft these vaults at the beginning of the game, just like normal. You're going to choose a vault, you're going to place it in front of you, pass the rest of the vaults on until you end up with the same amount of starting vaults. Then, in turn order, you're going to play through each round until all of the vaults have been bid on. So, you're going to have a hand of 4. You're going to get to choose the one. Now, this is the same as the base game. You're going to choose a vault, you're going to play it in front of you, and you're going to draw a certain number of item cards. For example, the Pit of Despair has me drawing 4 item cards. Within these 4 item cards, I have to reveal one of them. So I get to look and I get to reveal a card. Maybe I want to reveal junk, so people think maybe this pile is worthless. Or maybe they're thinking I showed the junk and every other card is valuable. So you have to make some strategic decisions about what you want to show. Maybe you want to show the most valuable item knowing that the rest of the hand is junk, so that people bid on it because they think maybe it's going to be really good. Once you've decided which item you're going to show, you're going to have a few cards left that you're going to pass around the table. Each player is going to get to peek at a certain number. For the Pit of Despair, they're going to get to peek at 1. So each player looks at these 3, they peek at 1, and then they're going to pass it. So they have a little bit more information than what is just on the table. At this point, bidding is going to commence on the entire stack of cards, with each player bidding a certain number of coins in order to be the one to ultimately win the bet. Whoever wins is going to take those cards in front of them, and they're going to be able to make those same decisions like normal. You're either going to equip some items during the equip phase, or you're going to keep some items face down in storage to earn points. And these items are going to earn points in a variety of different ways. Some of them just have flat out points values. Some of them want you to collect specific sets of cards. Some of them want you to collect specific other cards that kind of create combos to get points. And of course, if you equip a card, then you don't get the points for that card, but you do get the ability. So you're going to have to make these decisions. But there's one more thing you're going to be able to do with those cards, and that is to transmute them into these powerful relics. Whoever bid in second for the vault isn't going to get the items, but they're going to get to draw that certain number of relic cards. So in this case, the second player to bid is going to draw 3 relic cards. Now these relic cards are very powerful, and they're going to score in a variety of different ways similar to items. However, the key thing here is that they're just going to remain face down in your pile until they can be transmuted. After you've decided to equip items or store items, you can then decide to transmute any relics that you might have. Each one of these relics is going to require a specific number of items. Some of them are going to tell you, for example, this one needs 2 junk particularly. Some might just have you discard 3 items of any type. Some might have a bonus 3 items or only 1 if that item happens to be an armor. Whatever it says on the card, you're paying that value. So this actually gives a little bit more benefit to those junk cards. They don't just sit in your pile waiting to be discarded. You can actually transmute that junk into these powerful relics. These relics are going to come and sit in front of you, equipped onto your characters, kind of like items do. But like I said earlier, the difference here is that these are actually going to score their points for being out. So you want to make sure to transmute as many of these relics as possible. At the end of the game, these relics are all going to score points in different ways, plus your particular villain is going to score more points based on the more relics you have. So these relics are going to give you a new way to play the game. You can still focus on items like normal, and you can fulfill the requirement of your aspiring hero, or you can just keep on focusing on relics in order to score your villain at the end of the game. Now, one thing you're not going to see in front of me are the workers. The workers were something that you had in the base game. You're actually not going to use workers in this game because there are so many different ways to trigger powers, including those new relic cards and the powers on your vice cards. You're going to add up all the points from the items left in your supply, all the relics that you actually were able to equip. So all of the equipped items and all of the stored relics are all just going to go away. They're worth nothing. You're going to add all those points together, subtract any corruption that you have. Whoever has the most points is the winner. So for those of you who really like Vault Wars, this is going to add a lot more to the game. These relic cards cause you to think about things a little differently. You're going to be gaining items now not to score points, but in order to use those items to transmute the relics. So definitely think about giving Relic Roadshow a try. This game is going to be coming out soon from Floodgate Games. So thank you so much for taking a look at this with me today. And as always, please like, subscribe, and follow us here at MVM, and I will see you next time.
Now, before you go, there's one more thing I want to talk about. I hate to bring this up, but YouTube analytics tells us to do this. So please click on the subscription button, ring the bell, watch our next video, rinse and repeat. Just keep doing that over and over and over and over.